what I'd like for you to do is kind of touch on a bit, just briefly around your story and your childhood and your upbringing. And as we think about exposure and what you was exposed to and what that did for you and prepared you for where you are today.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that coming from you, from anyone, but specifically from you, man, accomplishing what you have accomplished, to feel like, man, somebody sees me and they get it, and just have respect for your peers. That's amazing. But yeah, man, I come from humble beginnings. Like East Baltimore, man, is a rough place, right? And I often think about like, what's the difference between me and somebody that came from my community? Not even just me, just what's the difference between people that come from my community, went to my schools, lived in my building, or whatever, and in its exposure, right? I mean, outside of God has his own timing and his own favor on your life and whatever time that takes place. And then also everybody has their own motor, right? And the gift of skills that they've been blessed with. But it's exposure. I know for me, people say like if you knew better, you do better, right? But where do you know better from if everyone around you is doing the same thing and have the same thing, right? You're not exposed to something extra. So I think that for me, man, I've been blessed with micro exposures and macro exposures. And we talk about this. Once you see something, you can't unsee it. You know that it exists. Now it's up to you if you want to go try to achieve that. And for me, I was, my mother was a framer. So I got introduced to art at a very young age. And art is important in my life. One, because it creates creativity. She also sold my artwork that I used to draw at some of her local fairs. So right there, the level of having exposure of being an entrepreneur, seeing somebody be an entrepreneur, and then brought me into the entrepreneurship space at a young age was very helpful. Then when I got into golf, I used to jump the fence at my grandmother's. She lived in this apartment that was across the street from this golf course.
Wait a second now. You Baltimore, East Baltimore, and
Yeah.
you got into what?
Golf.
Golf.
Yes, randomly. I was at my grandmother's house. Me and my cousin, we used to climb the tree, play baseball with a broomstick and a tennis ball. And then I jumped the fence one day and I saw some golf balls. So I went over there, picked the golf balls up. Now it was a blind shot from up the hill, down the hill, and the next one was across the water. So that when they hit the ball from up the hill, I saw nobody. I picked up the balls. They came down. I was trying to sell them golf balls. They was like, bro, this is my golf ball. Get out of here. So then they hit the next shot in the water. So I went into the water and got the balls and like, hey, I finally can sell it to you, right? All this just not to extend the story, but through golf, like a pro pulled me up and said, hey man, have you ever played golf? I'm like, no. He was like, come to this thing on Saturday. I'm like, I don't have clubs. He gave me an old beater set. I went and I excelled. And then through that, I got to go play golf. I met different friends. I would go to their house. They would eat supper. I'm like, what is supper? We eat dinner, right? They sat at a table and they ate macaroni and cheese and everything, but I would get to go to their homes. And when I'm going to their homes, very similar to the story with you and Monique, I was driving past people's houses and I was looking up like, man, these are some incredible homes. Like, who lives here? How do you get there? And I wanted it, right? And I wound up buying a house in that same community years later. But when I started caddying, I caddied in the U.S. Girls Junior Amateur for Lorena Ochoa's best friend.
The U.S. girl.
U.S. Girls Junior Amateur. I caddied in that. And I met them, people from out the country, and just how they move with their family and their dynamics, how they invest in their kids. I met other seasoned professionals. Like through that golf, man, it really transformed my life. I formed relationships, exposure, and it just made me a significantly different person than a lot of the people in the community that I came from.